Yo, cuz. Welcome to the Talkman Radio Show Live. We're here talking fantasy football. This week, we are going to get a little off topic. Not much, because I want to get back to talking fantasy football. But there's a couple things. Well, there's one thing I got to talk about, because it's so ridiculous. But it is football related. Welcome to the show. Talkman Radio Show Live. I got some stuff. We got a lot of things going on this week. Actually, one thing that has a lot of different moving parts to it, that kind of just, I've been talking about it. I saw it a couple weeks ago, and I think I mentioned it maybe a week or two ago, maybe last week too. And Julio Jones, now it's getting closer to the time that they were talking about that they have to get rid of him by, or at least they want to get rid of him by after, I think, June 1st. When it switches over and you can get more money off the table for him, now they're going to do that. And, I see the point. But first, 12-Ounce Sports, what's up? Every week, I thank 12-Ounce Sports for giving me the opportunity to come on here for an hour every Friday, talk fantasy football, because I like to talk fantasy football. And 12-Ounce Sports, 12OunceSportsRadio.com, that's where you can find this show and a bunch of other shows. You can find content. You can find articles. You can find the donate button for me and all the other content creators here who like to talk about sports. We talk about everything here. I'm talking about fantasy football. You guys talk about hockey. You got guys who call games on here. I'm talking to you, Mike. Does a good job on it as well. So, like I say every week, we're up and coming. We're small. We're very small as compared to the Yahoos at the ESPNs of the world and the First Takes, and which I think is on ESPN, so I'm kind of being redundant there. But I'm going to get into that because it's, eventually, I got an hour to kill and I'm going to bring it up. But 12-Ounce Sports, back to 12-Ounce Sports. You can check them out on social media on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And Talkman Radio Show Live. But Talkman Radio you can catch every Friday here at 6 o'clock, right here. 6 o'clock, at least on the East Coast. I don't know where you're at. You can catch it streaming here on 12-Ounce Sports. And you can also subscribe to Talkman Radio on YouTube. As of right now, that's really the only social media I'm on after I had issues with them, and you know what? I had enough of them. It's too annoying to be on social media. Despite the fact that most of the people that were on social media when I was on, especially Twitter and Facebook, I was connected to like sports guys on ESPN to see what their takes are, and it's always the same shit. It's always nonsense. It's always stupid shit. We're gonna throw race in there. We're gonna throw fucking politics in there. Everything's politics now. Like, ugh, gross. It's always communists too. It's always communists saying shit. Nobody says anything about, hey, the flag. Fuck you. But like I said, that's how we're starting the show this week. So subscribe to Talkman Radio on YouTube for now. Probably next month you're really gonna see the change. I know I've been saying that for a while, but like I said, a lot of stuff's been going on and it's still going on. It's still permeating through my life, so I have to take care of that first, or at least set some time aside to work on the show, which I'm gonna probably do next month because we're getting close. Books are going to be out next month. I'm going to be doing my book takes probably next month when they come out. Last year I had to freaking order the books. that about? I ordered at least one book. I forget how many books I got. I got 2 or 3. But I had to order one. To order it. So next month we're going to do that, and you're going to see a lot of changes in the show next month. We're going to change around this whole thing that you see here. This is going to be a little different. And we're going to go back to having the big piece on my computer screen so I can show you the shit that I'm looking at. Because it's total shit, a lot of the stuff. And I need to be able to show it to you so you can see the shit. Because it is shit. And it needs to be called out because it's shit. And that's it. That's my opening salvo to the sports media. They're just garbage. They're all 99% of them are garbage people, pushing a narrative, pushing an agenda. That's all it is. They don't even talk about sports like we're going to talk about right now. Why did it? Well, okay. So let's do the rundown. First thing we're talking about is Tebow. I'm going to give you the correct take on this, and then I'm going to show you. You see, if I had the screen open, I could show you. And then I'm going to read off the things that I've read about this, which is so ridiculous. But I guess the brain dead people, those people, they just take it. That's right. No, it's not right. You're being brainwashed. Don't look at it like Indiana Jones. The first Indiana Jones. Don't look at it. Don't even look at it. My face. So we talk about Tim Tebow, the tight end. Tim Tebow. And then we're going to get into actual fantasy football stuff. Julio Jones destinations. I've seen where's my numbers? 7 spots. We're going to go over that. And then I found a cool little discussion area. And people are just posting. So I'm going to go through some of the posts on the discussion area about fantasy football next year. People's takes on certain guys. There's some interesting ones in there. And there's some guys in there I'm like, what? Do you guys even have him on here? So let's see what they have to say about him. But first, before we get started, everyone relax for a minute because now everyone knows you can find my show and dozens of other shows on 12 Ounce Sports. But did you know there's a ton of live sports on the network as well? Watch live football, baseball, hockey, lacrosse, racing, basketball, and more right here on 12 Ounce Sports. Also, check us out on Zingo TV, channel 761. I tell you every week, Zingo TV, it's the way to go. Quench your sports thirst. And Amazon. Spring shopping, preparing for that summer vacation or road trip. Maybe just looking to make that purchase you've been holding on for. I don't think so. I think everybody's purchasing stuff every week because of this craziness that's going on. No one's allowed to leave your house. Now you can do all that on Amazon while helping out here at 12 Ounce Sports. When you're heading online, use 12OunceSportsNetwork.com/Amazon and get shopping. That's 12OunceSportsNetwork.com/Amazon. It helps out when you do that, and you can still buy your stuff. My head. Say we're going to give you some head. So, I always got to knock off the things. First, let's get this out of the way because it's stupid and ridiculous. And we're gonna get it out of the way. So, Tebow signed yesterday as a tight end for Jacksonville. He signed for the minimum. You know what? Let's do it this way. Let's do the takes on this. Because they're so out there. It's ridiculous. I pulled 3 of them up. Here's one. Mel Kiper. Who cares? College. This guy blows his spunk to college the college football players and makes bad picks and tells people who NFL NFL Bears. Who you should pick this guy? Don't pick this guy. Well, he jerks off the college football players, but he's going to talk about a 33-year-old Tim Tebow. Where is it? There you go. Sounds off on Tim Tebow signing with the Jaguar. Calls it it's a desperation move. Yo, they're desperate. Yo, dude, they won 2 games. They won 2 games last year. Desperation move. You can't treat the NFL like a hobby. It's a full-time job. You see, and that's another thing. Everything's broken down into sound bites. Now, there's nobody this isn't really that difficult of a subject to discuss. It's actually pretty simple. And none of these guys get it right. None of them. That's incorrect. He's being, he signed a minimum contract as a tight end. A 33-year-old tight end who's never played the position anymore. Do you really have to say anything about it? But this guy's gonna yap up about it. It's desperation. They're desperate. They won 2 games, dipshit. Desperation move. Who else? Who's this next guy? Oh, this guy actually wasn't that bad, but still wrong. Colin Cowherd shares his reaction to Tim Tebow. Blah blah blah. I don't love it. He doesn't love it. Colin Cowherd doesn't love it. Commit to Hadakiti right now because Colin Cowherd doesn't love it. Another guy, mainstream media sports. They have one narrative. They all go the same way. Doesn't matter. I would love this. Why couldn't I looked up Tim Tebow reactions. A couple minutes, about 10 minutes. That's all I needed. 10 minutes. And if anybody has any positive Tim Tebow reaction, send them my way. So I want to see them. Tim Tebow. And I'm not even saying that it should be. You should give it a reaction like that. I'll give you the correct reaction in a minute, but I want to go through these yahoos. That's what you can't watch. You can't watch regular media. You can't watch sports media. You can't watch any media. You have to watch shows on the periphery, like this show, like 12 Ounce Sports in general, like anyone that not a lot of people have heard of. You have to build those people up because these people all say the same thing. Whatever this guy's saying, it's basically the same thing as the other guy said. It's just a different context, kind of. But it's the same thing. Tim Tebow bad. Christian guy, this guy praise? No, he's bad. We don't want him around. This guy's actual take wasn't that bad, but still incorrect. I think Urban Meyer made a mistake by trying to hire a college athletic trainer. He had to immediately dismiss. He didn't understand the temperature of the room. He doesn't understand, it's hot in here. No, wait, it's cold. He doesn't understand the temperature. He doesn't get it. I don't think he quite understands Tebow's NBA fan base. He's living in a parallel universe. First off, what fan base? Where's Tim Tebow's fan base? Tim Tebow's fan base is in the pews at the church. They're not in the NFL stands. This feels like a college coach doesn't quite understand the Tebow disruptiveness that could happen if Trevor Lawrence struggles. Nobody thinks that. Nobody thinks that Tim Tebow is going to come and play quarterback. First off, nobody thinks that this guy's going to really actually make the team, and I'll go over that in a minute too. But yeah, that's incorrect. Tim Tebow is not a franchise. He's not a franchise quarterback. Is that why he's been playing in the NFL for a decade? Oh my God. He's a third string guy. He's not even that. Got that wrong too. Good for the locker room. Good work ethic. Don't love the move, but I do believe Tim Tebow deserves at some point to be on an NFL team. That's wrong too. No, not really. He doesn't really deserve to be on an NFL team. He has a shot to be on this team, and I'll get to why he has a shot to be on this team. And here's the best one out of all of them: Stephen A. Smith, another just member of the satanic media, and they are. I'm really starting to think these people are just Satanists. They're just Baphomet. They're just all they do is try and divide people through. They look at fault lines and divide them. Here, Stephen A. Smith slams Tim Tebow return to the NFL as an example of white privilege. I love that one. No, that's not. They're not trying to divide people or anything like that. So that's incorrect as well. So, here's the reaction. Here's the correct reaction to Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow is back in the NFL. He signed a 1-year contract for the minimum. Man, who cares? Chances are he's not even going to make the team. He's definitely not going to be a tight end that you're going to draft in your fantasy league unless you're in his church. I'll draft you, Tim. I don't even play for them anymore. They cut me last week. I'm still going to keep you on the team. God. All right, buddy. A little too much there. Yeah, there's he's most likely not going to make the team. He's there to establish culture because he was a favorite of the coach that's there now, and he played. The freaking guy's 33 years old, going to be a tight end. You really think that? You really think that's the way it's going to be? I don't think so. And if he does make the team, here's who he's got to beat out. James O'Shaughnessy. Not that James O'Shaughnessy is going to go down in the annals of NFL history as tight end supreme. The meta of tight end starts with James O'Shaughnessy. I don't think so. Chris Manhertz, maybe. Luke Farrell. He's a rookie out of Ohio State, so that's going to be some competition right there. Just coming out of Ohio State means you had good competition. And he played for a much younger version of a guy who played for Urban Meyer. Ben Ellefson, another tight end, and Tyler Davis. So you got like 5 guys there right now, not counting anybody they bring out on free agency. And that's who this 33-year-old. And let me give you the ages of these guys. James O'Shaughnessy's 29, Chris Manhertz 29, Luke Farrell's 23, Ben Ellefson's 24, Tyler Davis 24. So but this 33-year-old dude who just got done swinging a bat in New York he's gonna make the team. No, he gave him some money to help solidify the culture in there because that's what you have to do first, especially with a shit team like this. You come in, maybe he'll not that he's a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence, but he can at least talk to him about what the coach expects out of his quarterback. Something like that. I don't know. I don't play in the NFL, and I never played for Urban Meyer, so what do I know? All I know is that there's a reason he brought in the guy that he worked with 10 years ago in his college days. And I'm going with it's a culture thing. That's why. And for those people who say, he's taking a spot from a guy that's going to do what? What's that roster spot going to do? They going to the Super Bowl with that roster spot? You think? Okay, you go on thinking that. You go on thinking, what, did Stephen A. Smith tell you that? So that's the Tim Tebow take. It's a nothing thing, and these people making a big deal out of it are satanic scumbags who all deserve to be fired. And you should listen to alternative media for this alone, and I can give you 20 other examples. I'm not saying listen to me. I'm saying don't listen to them because they're just feeding your brain. That guy just told you it's a white privilege. There's nothing to do with it. So, and all right, back to fantasy football. We're gonna get into Julio Jones. I don't even want to talk about that, but I've just been seeing it all week. I'm like, this is gross. So, Tim Tebow, there you go. Good luck, but I don't see you making the team. Forgot. Let's. Only people. I get one call a week, and it's a nuisance call. So I'm going to put on my do. No one ever calls during the show. The one week I don't put on my do not disturb, they call. Okay. So I've been seeing a lot this week, and it's coming out and it's going to be ramped up over the next. I think June 1st is the day that Julio Jones can get traded, so they're probably going to work on it now. But there's all of a sudden, just boom, boom, boom. This team wants him, that team wants him, this team wants him. Okay. I've broken it down to 7 teams with 2 that I'm just taking right off. Right off. We're just shaving them right off the top. Zing! Just shaving them off. I don't see him going to these 2 places at all. So, first 2 places. And I know you're going to say, what? No, he can go there. The Patriots. He ain't going there. He ain't going to the Patriots. The reason he's not going to the Patriots is because he's 32 years old. Belichick, he's still in charge over there. He's going to bring in who he wants, but he knows he's out the door soon. I'm thinking this is probably his last season. He's going to play Tom Brady one time and then just beat it. Fucking, the guy's like 600 years old. So he doesn't have much time left. I think he's going to play this one. He's going to coach this one last season, then drop it off to Josh McDaniels, and then take all his Super Bowl rings and go retire to wherever he's going to go retire to. So I don't see him going to the Patriots. They're going to spend a lot of money on Julio Jones, a 32-year-old wide receiver wide receiver. Now this isn't Randy Moss at like 28. Or so, or 29 when they took him from the Raiders, when they traded for him from the Raiders. This isn't that. This is a 32-year-old guy who's shown injury problems over the last 4 or 5 years. I don't have it up in front of me, but you know what? Fuck it, I can pull it up. Let's look at how many games he's played. Let's see how many times he's played 16 games over the last 5 years. Let's see the last time he played 16 games. I didn't even think about bringing this up, but now let's bring it up. Oh, there he is. Let's see. Julio Jones. Oh, he's a wide receiver for the Falcons, is he? Is he really? Okay, 6'3", 220. We know all about that. Stats. No, career. Oops. Okay. I was incorrect. He played 9 games last year. Not great. 51 for 771. 15 yards. He's pretty... I'll give him that. 15 yards catch, he'll get you that every year. 51, 771, 15.1 average, 3 touchdowns. He was never really a double-digit touchdown guy. Never. Last time he had double-digit touchdowns once in 2012. That's it. 2019 played 15 games, 99 to 1394, 6 touchdowns. Not bad. 2018 and 2017 played 16 games. Okay. I was off on that. Yeah, hey, I make mistakes. But he is getting older and he hasn't played a full 16-game season in the last 2 years. But in 2018, 113 for 1677 and 8 touchdowns. Pretty good. In 2017, 88 for 1444. 3 touchdowns. The 3 touchdowns is great. The year before that, he played 14, then he had 16, then he had 15, and in 2013 he had 5, which wasn't great. But overall, he's at 33, he's looking like he's starting to break down, especially with the 15 and the 9 in 2019 and 2020, respectively. That doesn't sound like it's someone who's trending upward. It sounds like someone who's leveling off or trending downward. So I don't see Bill Belichick going out there and say, "Hey, this guy's a good dude," because you're gonna have to give up to get him. What are you gonna give up? A young guy? That's all they have over there. Outside of Cam Newton, all they have is young guys, basically, and a couple of guys you're gonna bring back to who they're gonna need on the defensive side. On the offense, you're not gonna give up anything. But you get some offensive linemen that are okay, but there's a mixture of some young and old guys. The guy that drafted a couple of years ago, I think they got rid of Nate Solder. But either way, I don't see them giving anything up to go get Julio Jones. And if they did, what's he going to contribute? Okay, he's a great wide receiver, and he's one of the top 5 wide receivers in the league probably right now if he's healthy. I don't think Bill Belichick makes that determination that he's going to stay healthy for 16 games and bring him in and give up something for that. Bill Belichick takes. He doesn't give. So, Pats, I think they're out. Next would be the Colts. Now, again, kind of the same deal, but I think now the Pats could use an offensive weapon. I just don't think they're going to give up for that. The Colts don't really need the offensive weapon. I think they're comfortable with what they have offensively going in there. And again, you would have to give up a lot to get him. Well, you'd have to give up something. I'm figuring probably third, fourth round pick. He ain't getting a first round pick. He ain't getting a first round pick for him. So what are you gonna do? I think you stand pat if you're the Colts. I saw the Colts on. Yeah, the Colts are going. I don't think so. They went out and got Carson Wentz, took in that massive contract. Now you think they're going to go take on this guy's massive contract? You're worried about Carson Wentz staying healthy. Now you're bringing another guy who you're going to worry about staying healthy? I don't think so. I think one guy's enough to worry about. And they have wide receivers. You got Michael Pittman there, who's an up-and-coming wide receiver. You got T.Y. Hilton there on his way out, but still has the speed and still knows how to play the position well enough to be able to go out there and make plays. Bringing in this guy, how many 3 wide receiver sets are you going to run on with this guy and pay him all that money? Again, you'd have to give up something to get him. So the Colts, I think they're out as well. So those two teams who I saw on there, I don't see them going out there to go out there and get Julio Jones. And I don't see the Falcons giving him away. So that's those two teams are on the non-destination list. I just don't see it. You know what I do see? I see you making some money on mybookie.com. Everyone knows it's the best time of the year for sports. We're coming up on the NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs, and baseball's in full swing. Now you want to responsibly get in the action. Well, you got to be responsible. Don't just throw the money on it. We're throwing the money. Head over to mybookie.ag and use the promo code 12-ounce sports. It's 12OZ sports when signing up for the deposit bonus. First-time users only, please. That's mybookie.ag, promo code 12-ounce sports, 12OZ sports, all caps, no spaces. Always gamble responsibly, please. We don't need people saying, you know, that guy on 12-ounce sports told me to go bet, and I bet my mortgage. My wife left me. You know, my kids call me a scumbag. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need it on my conscience. You know, you need no free TV at ZingoTV.com. Check out the Zingo TV. Oh, just check out Zingo TV. It's not like the internet's. It's free. Please use the promo code 12ounce. That's 12OZ. Very simple. Very simple. 12OZ. It really helps out when you do that. 12-ounce sports is channel 761. Plus, they have other actual sports channels, music channels, and anything your heart could want in free TV on Zingo TV. So go check it out. It's free. Plus, sign up and use the promo code 12ounce. That's 12OZ when you sign up to Zingo TV, ZINGO TV.com. Zingo was his name-o. It's a name of free TV. Zingo TV, and the promo code is 12ounce 12OZ. Very simple. ZingoTV.com, 12OZ, and you're getting free TV all day on your computer right there. Just sign up. ZingoTV.com. I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm still alive. And don't forget, you can catch my show, replay, 11 a.m. on Zingo TV. That's right. Eat fries, eat them. So, let's get into the teams that I actually think do have a shot at bringing in Tim Tebow. He ain't going to Jacksonville either. He's going to a team that has a shot. And the first team that has a shot, and I was surprised. I'm going to go through the wide receiver list on these teams. And it does open your eyes as to why they would bring him in. Because they need help at wide receiver. And that's kind of like the only, I don't want to say the only thing they need help with, but a boost at the wide receiver position at these teams would significantly help their chances at making that next jump. So the first team we're looking at are the 49ers. The reason I put the 49ers there, and this is kind of like 5-1, it's a loosely based 5-1 list I'm giving you here. The reason I put the 49ers at number 5 is because, number one, they're in the same conference, and I don't think the Atlanta Falcons want to trade him in conference. They don't want to have to see him anymore. They want to see him once every 4 years. Hopefully, the next time they see him, he's in a booth talking somewhere. So I think he's going to the AFC. But the one team I think in the NFC that they would put together something for would be the 49ers, because it looks like, they made it to the Super Bowl, 2 years ago. They're revamping. They still got that defense. That defense is still top notch. They brought in their new quarterback, and now the one thing that they can use some help with is wide receiver. And why could they use help with wide receiver? Because they're bringing in guys like Kevin White. Yeah, Kevin White from 5 years ago. That guy who caught like one pass in the first 3 years, kept getting hurt. He's on the 49ers roster. They brought him in. Austin Watkins, a rookie, number 7. He's on the team. Trent Sherwood, number 81. He's on the team. Mohamed Sanu, you already got one old Atlanta Falcon, bring in another one. Mohamed Sanu's on the team. They can bunk together. Deebo Samuel, young. I like him. Got hurt last year. Got to get through that. I'm not a big fan of guys getting hurt. But Deebo Samuel's on the team, and I do like him. Juan Jennings, don't know who he is, from Tennessee. Never heard of him. Richie James, he was a running back, wasn't he? Wasn't Richie? They used him as running back last year. They needed a running back so bad they used Richie James. But he's apparently a wide receiver. Jalen Hurd, he was another guy. Played well in the preseason and then kind of just gone. See ya. Benny Fowler, they just signed. River Craycraft. Okay. River Craycraft's there. Yo, River. Come on, River. River Craycraft. Travis Benjamin hasn't... What? Travis Benjamin's 31 years old. That dude's old. And he's a one-trick pony. He's kind of just a deep threat. And can he get deep anymore? I don't know. He's 31. And Brandon Ayuk, who I like. So you've got 2 guys on there that are young, look like they have their careers ahead of them and can make a splash, with one coming off of an injury and the other one coming into a second year looking to make some big plays. I like Brandon Ayuk. On the other, if you put a Julio Jones on the other side, now you're looking at something there. Now you got something going on. Let's not forget Kyle Shanahan coached Julio Jones for all the years that he was there as the offensive coordinator. So he knows what he likes. He knows what he can do. So that's why I think this would be a good place to go. This could be the kind of thing that could push them over the top. They need help at the wide receiver position. I just went through their wide receivers. You don't think they need help? Now, if he went there, his place is pretty much solidified in terms of where he's getting drafted. Julio Jones is going to be a second, third round pick. Just because of size, speed, experience, what he's done in the past. People are going to take the shot because they think if he plays 16 games, especially here, he's got a shot to do some damage. Especially you got a rookie coming in who can use all the help he can get. Okay, let's bring in one of the top 5 receivers in the league. Okay. So the 49ers would be a good spot. Again, he's going to go second, third round no matter where he goes probably. But this would be a spot that I think he definitely could go. Probably one of the only NFC spots I could see Julio Jones going to is the 49ers, because I think they have the balls to go out there and make a deal for him. And I love it. People say, oh, well, where are they going to get the money? If you want a guy, you'll work the salary cap to bring the guy in if somebody's giving you a chance to get a Julio Jones or something like that. So, 49ers possibility, and that's probably one of the only possibilities I see in the NFC. Moving, and the rest are all AFC. Moving into the AFC. A team that made a big jump last year, and I said they were going to make a big jump this year because they were a year after. Everyone said that they were going to make their jump the year before, and I said, no, they're going to need a year because they need a year for all that hot spunk to wear off and to wipe it off. And now this is what we really are, and now let's go out and do it. And they got a real coach in there who I like. Cleveland Browns. They made their jump, and now they have to make their next jump, and Julio Jones could be the kind of addition to make that happen. Wide receivers they have so far. Well, wait to hear these household names. Derek Willis. This is per the roster right now. Ryan Switzer, I kind of like him, but he does not play the same position Julio Jones plays. He's the inside little. He will jump, runs 5 yards, makes a little move, and does this. Donovan Peoples-Jones, wasn't he a tight end? 6'2", 212. I thought he was a tight end. Either way, Donovan Peoples-Jones is wide receiver. JoJo Natson. Jojo, what's up? Go catch that ball. Jarvis Landry. Okay, 28 years old. I thought he was in his 30s. He's only 28 years old. He's been in the league 8 years. Jarvis Landry, 5'11", 196. Another guy does not do the same thing that Julio Jones does. Julio Jones averages 15 yards a catch. Jarvis Landry averages like 8. So there's room for Julio Jones with Jarvis Landry on the roster. Alexander Hollins. How many big plays did he make last year? Rashard Higgins, who I like, been in the league 6 years, 26 years old, but I think you've gotten what you're going to get out of Rashard Higgins. He can make a big play once in a while, but I don't see him as somebody that you're going to rely on the other side of Jarvis Landry or Odell Beckham Jr., who's coming up. Another guy, 28 in the league 8 years. Way too many injury bugs on Odell Beckham Jr.'s resume. Also, Jamar Bradley, 1 year guy, second year guy, been in the league a year. So that's your wide receiver core for the Browns. They can use a big play guy. Now, again, you're bringing in a guy who's getting older, who's older than all these guys. Older than all 24, 27, 22, 26, 24, 28, 24, and 28. That's old. That's older than all these guys. But he's the best wide receiver out there once you put him out there. He's definitely better than Odell Beckham Jr. just because of that. I mean, Odell Beckham Jr., as good as he is when he's at 100%, 5'11", 198. I just did Julio Jones. Julio Jones, 6'3", 220. So having them both out there, both healthy, now you're looking at, okay, we got to respect all these. Oh, you got that guy who averages 6 yards a carry out of the backfield too. Now you got something going on here. And Baker Mayfield played well last year. He needs to make another jump. It's a lot easier to make that next jump if you got a guy named Julio Jones out there playing 12, 13 games for you. So, again, he goes to the Browns. He's going to be second, third, maybe fourth round pick because of the wealth of options they have there. Well, I say wealth of options. You have Odell Beckham Jr. and Julio Jones. So one of those guys, you have to take into account that they're both there and kind of bring them down a little bit. Somebody might jump up and grab him in round 2, though. I don't think so with the injury, the recent injury history he's had, though. So, and that's my take on the Browns. So that's why I think he's going if he goes to the Browns and how they can use him and why they would go out and get him. So as of right now, go take a piss, will you? Go take a piss because it's commercial time.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Did you go buy your boots yet or what? And take your piss? Get all that done in the 2 minutes that I allotted for that? So, the top three teams I see as possible places that Julio Jones could go. And I saw this. I was like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm not buying this one. And then I thought about it a little bit. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I can see that. Took me a couple minutes, but yeah, I see where they're going with this. Number 3, if you want to call it whatever you want, the Raiders. I've been seeing Raiders popping up and Julio Jones popping up. And when I first saw it, I was like, nah, what the hell? Why would he want to go there? And how's he gonna help them out? Are the Raiders a team that? I'm assuming Julio Jones wants to go to a team that, okay, I'm gonna be the last piece they get. We're not moving. He's not going to Jacksonville. He ain't going to the Chargers. I saw the Chargers on there. I'm like, he ain't going there. But I could see. I thought about it. I could see this. Here's their wide receivers for the Raiders. Immediately, 2 rookies right off the bat. Boom. DJ Turner and Dylan Stoner. It's good stuff. Dylan the Stoner. Willie Snead. This is where Willie Snead ended up? Okay. Caleb Scott. Henry Ruggs III, who I think can make a big impact this year. We'll see what happens. Hunter Renfrow, who I like, but he's another one of those. I'm going to run out 5 yards, turn around and do this, and with sticks by going 6 yards. Trey Quinn, Zay Jones. I don't know what a bust that guy turned out to be. Brian Edwards, Keelan Doss, John Brown. They brought in John Brown. I forgot about that. Yeah, they brought him in free agency. John Brown is a speed guy. I guess he's going to mentor Henry Ruggs Jr., Henry Ruggs III, because they both kind of play the same position. But they're going with that Raiders mantra of just, we're going deep on you, yo. And Marcel Aitman. So, not a lot of household names there. We could use a guy that could really make this offense hum much better than it does now, because the tight end, our top receiving threat is tight end. So we need a wide receiver out there that could do something, and that could push them over the top. They're going to need some help defensively, but I think bring him in this division, which you're going to need more offense in this division. They've got an okay offense, but they're going to need more of it. You got Kansas City in this division. You got San Diego in this division. You've got, who's the other one in this division? I forget. Doesn't matter. Whoever it is, it's let's take a look. Drawing a blank. I'm drawing a blank. And the Broncos, another team. So you got the Chargers and the Broncos that meh. The Raiders 8-8. The Chiefs, somebody's got to make a play and go after them. And the Raiders are the next in line to go after the Raiders. I think the Chargers, granted, I like their quarterback. I think he's going to take a second year kind of little slip this year after they get a book on you, like I say every year. And the Broncos, if they don't get Rodgers, which I don't know, it's still up in the air on that one. We'll see what happens. They're not going anywhere. Drew Lock ain't taking them nowhere, and Teddy Bridgewater ain't taking you nowhere. I'll go with they're going about as far as, they'll go a little farther than that guy who played quarterback for him last year when all the quarterbacks, they said they were all infected with Mexican beer plague. You're all infected. You can't play. Well, we feel fine. No, you're infected. You're so infected, you don't even know you're infected. So I think the obvious choice in that division would be, outside of the Chiefs, but I think the Chiefs. How many guys are you going to bring in? Come on. So the Raiders see, like I said, I wasn't going with it, and then I went with it. So I can see him going there, being the guy who kind of moves them closer to and makes them competitive with the Chiefs. And if you win that division, you got a good shot at getting maybe a bye. I mean, the Steelers, they're going to take a drop, I think. The Ravens, the Browns are coming up. The Ravens are good. I mean, let's try and win a division. The only way you win a division is beating the Chiefs. So I can see why they would go after him, solidify that wide receiver position. And they're going to give him the money that he wants. Maybe he wants to go out to Vegas. Who knows? But I'll take what they're saying as, okay, all right, we'll go with the Raiders. So that's why I think if he went to the Raiders, he would still be, this would probably be where he would get drafted highest. I still think he's second, third round if he goes here because there's no other competition. He's the guy, and the next wide receiver is probably Henry Ruggs, and the next guy taking away targets is a tight end, so you don't have to worry about that. You just draft the tight end. So, next on the list that I was reading is the Titans. The Titans. Now, as soon as the Falcons said that, we're thinking about trading this guy, which has been in the news for like 2 weeks when they said they're going to look to trade him after June 1st. Now, all of a sudden, Derrick Henry's like, yo, go get that guy. Yo, let's go get that guy. We got A.J. Brown. We got me. We got a good line. We got a quarterback who, once he got here, apparently this guy's pretty good. Ryan Tannehill's a pretty good quarterback. Go get that guy. I think that'll be the thing. That'll be the thing that moves us forward. They won 11 games last year. They made it to the playoffs. With the expanded format, one team getting a bye, that could be the step that it takes for them to get that bye. Now, 11 wins. A lot of teams had 11 wins last year. You get another win on top of that, and one of the 13 wins teams falls down. You get a lucky break here and there. You get a bye week. Bye week is huge now. So I can see why they're going, let's make a move. Let's make a move. This is our chance to make a move. We got a defense that's pretty good. We made a decent, we drafted a cornerback in the first round. Bring him in, see what happens with that. They're usually decent with their drafts. They bring in guys who play. They may not be household names, but they're okay. They know what they're looking for. And here's who else you got to look at in the wide receiver category. And boy, where do you hear these guys? Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Okay. Another household name there. Chester Rogers from, he played for the Colts. I liked him. I thought he was going to be good. He stunk. Josh Reynolds from the Rams. Racey McMath. He's good at math. He's from LSU. Mason Kinsey. Marcus Johnson. Cody Hollister. Des Fitzpatrick. A.J. Brown. Now there's wide receiver right there. And Cameron Batson. So you've got A.J. Brown. That's it. They got rid of Corey Davis. They sent him to the Jets. And now we're going to see, this solidifies the wide receiver. You got to respect, not only do you have to respect both wide receiver spots, you got to respect that ogre coming out of the backfield. That makes this offense, much, much tougher to defend. Again, are you going to give up a lot for him? Third, fourth round pick? Yeah, sure, take them. To increase our chance of making it to the Super Bowl, or at least getting a better chance at the bye week? Yeah, sure. How much could they be asking? You can't ask for a first round pick for Julio Jones. I don't think you're going to get a first round pick for a 32-year-old wide receiver who's been injured the last 2 years. So, third, fourth round pick? Yeah, I think they can give him up for a chance to get the bye week, make it to the Super Bowl. They've shown improvement every year. They look solidified in every other area. You need another wide receiver. Why not? Why not go out and get him? And your star player said, go get him. Okay. Not that I'm big on doing whatever the star player says, but kind of has a point here. This guy wants this guy in here. We need this guy. They're looking to get rid of him. Let's go get him. Rather than let somebody else go get him. Somebody we have to play against in the playoffs, maybe. Because like I said, he ain't going to Jacksonville's. He ain't going to some of those other crappy teams that are out there. I don't think he's going to the Chargers. He ain't going to Broncos. He ain't going to Bengals. He ain't going to Jets. He ain't going to these crappy teams. He's going to a real team that's ready to roll. So I think the Titans have a good shot at getting him out of the teams that I've mentioned. Now, there could be a dark horse team out there that we don't even know about. That's already set things up. Listen, after the first one to talk to you, I haven't heard about it yet. I've heard about some other teams out there. Like I said, the Chargers have been out there. But this is what I'm going with. This is Talk Man's deal, and this is what I think. These are my opinions. Like I said, I don't get my opinions from satanic sports media out there. Make them up myself. And at least I talk about them. I give you real reasons. I don't say, privilege. And last one. Ravens. I think if you went to the Ravens, they would have... I could see why they would want to go out and get him. They did pick up Sammy Watkins. They would have to give up, like I said, second, third round pick, something like that. Here's what they got. Here's the wide receivers that they got. And then I'll get into why he would help and why he wouldn't help with this team. I like the Titans. I think he would be the best fit with, but the Ravens have been getting a lot of the yap on by the scumbags in the media. They picked up Sammy Watkins. Okay. All right, let's go pick up Sammy Watkins. Tylan Wallace, Oklahoma State, rookie at Oklahoma State. Okay. Benjamin Victor. Dante Silenci. I don't know. I don't know that dude's name. James Proche, the second. Jalen Moore. Did he play somewhere before? I don't know. Devin Duvernay. They wanted him to be good. He hasn't really made too much of a splash. Deion Kane. Marquise Brown, who he's the reason I don't like Julio Jones going there, and I'll explain. Miles Boykin, meh. Rashad Bateman, I think he's the rookie they picked up this year. Okay, they're drafting guys, they're picking up free agents, and now they want to go get Julio Jones. Okay, they want to have an elite wide receiver corps. Marquise Brown, and this is why I'm going with. I don't think he would help that much. Marquise Brown, I really think could be top 20 wide receiver in the NFL. He's got the speed. He can make the moves. He can obviously catch the ball. The problem is I don't think he gets enough targets because of the way the offense is set up. How many times have you seen him catch 4 balls for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns? Catching bombs all day. Okay. He shows he can do that. And if he had more targets, they threw the ball more of the targets would probably go to him, which would up his catches, yards, and touchdowns, but they don't throw the ball anymore. And I don't see them bringing in Julio Jones to change the whole offense around. They won 14 games 2 years ago, and they won 11 last year running this offense. I don't think they're going to go out there and just start throwing the ball around 500 times. So it's a kind of a weird way to say Marquise Brown is kind of the reason I don't like Julio Jones going here, because I don't think he helps the offense that much, because the offense doesn't I don't see them changing the offense around massively, adding 100 to 150 passes into the system that's built on running. So I think they're going to go after him. I think they have guys here that they can trade. And, they can probably give him, maybe even throw Marquise Brown in there. When you have Miles Boykin, Rashad Bateman, Sammy Watkins, Devin Duvernay, you've got all these guys that you spent high draft capital on. Let's see what, let's see what they can do. If you're bringing in a guy like Julio Jones, who you already know is better than all these guys, let's see what they can do. And they have 3 rookies on this team. 3 rookies. So I don't. The best possible spot I see him going is probably of the ones I've heard about so far, without knowing about any dark horse teams in the background, would be the Titans. With I guess the Ravens being a number 2, because I see him coming in and blocking a lot because they run the ball a lot. So that's where I'm going with that. So that's my 5 teams that I think Julio Jones could go to. I see him being a second, third. Here, if you pick him up in the second round and he goes here, I gotta question you a little bit. If Julio Jones were to go to the Ravens, I see him being 3rd, 4th round pick at best, and I wouldn't even. I tell you the truth, I'd push him farther down my list because the offense is set up to run, and not only that, when it is set up to throw and he gets pressure, he runs anyway. So. And that's why they won 14 games and 11 games last 2 years. Because of his legs, mostly. Mostly because RG3 was there. So, that's where I see him going. Basically, he's still a second, third round pick, especially if he goes to one of these other teams. But if he goes here, he'll probably be maybe a 3rd, 4th round pick. Maybe somebody jumps on him in the second round. I don't see it, though, with the injury history. But I would pick him. I would probably ADP him somewhere in the 5th round. 5th, 6th, maybe. So that's it. That's my talk. That's my Julio Jones talk. So let's get into a quick little commercial before I get into something I found. Want to get an inside look at recreational sports betting? Then check out the Vegas Squares podcast, brought to you by 12 Ounce Sports. Catch them every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on Zingo TV, channel 761. I told you that. And again on Wednesday nights for the golf betting show. Golf betting show. Check out their website at lvsquares.com. That's the Vegas Squares exclusively on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo TV. Also, check out James and the Agent Wednesday, 8 to 9:30. And here's my specialty, Biscotti Gourmet. Biscotti Gourmet offers a new take on an old Italian tradition of soft-baked mini biscotti and many delightful flavors. Lemon's my favorite. Go to BiscottiGourmet.com. That's BITSCOTTI gourmet.com and use the promo code TALKMAN, that's TALKMAN, for 20% off your order. Nowadays, you can't go out, you can't go in, everybody has to order stuff. Order this. They're great. You'll love them. BiscottiGourmet.com. Any flavor is a wonderful compliment with your coffee in the morning, or it's a guilty pleasure treat. So I was looking online. I found this interesting. It's NBC Sports Edge forum. It's a forum about fantasy football, and they just go down the line, boom, 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 on players. So I wanted to go over a couple of them with you. And I might add this to my list of things. Chase Edmonds' outlook. He got 64 replies here. I do not see Chase Edmonds as the main guy over there, but he seems to be because there's nobody else there. Assuming Drake's, here's some of the posts. Assuming Drake is gone, what does that look like? If he's a starter in Arizona, it seems very unlikely to me. Arizona would end the season with Edwards as a starter. I agree. Drew Lock. Universe Gazette. He's bad, and I'm trying to claim he's good. I see all the talent in the offense and see the division he's playing in. Makes me think he can maybe actually have a good fantasy season. I don't think so. Not Drew Lock. So go to Sports Edge at NBC to check out. That's the show. Bye-bye.